insurance providers. Actual figures for coverage have not been given at this time. We have them now. However, they will be finalized and reported to the homeowners at the scheduled January meeting. Catherine gave the report at 1:20 p.m. He reported the total cost of pool furniture was $15,471.89. 10/17/650 was paid to Felton Professional Adjustment Team for insurance valuation update with the site. They came on site to evaluate us. New business, Chaz Barber, insurance agent, gave his presentation at 1:45 p.m. He distributed a few proposal booklets intended only for the board members and Robert, although there were a few extras, so he gave them to a few homeowners that were present. Extras were not available. The new insurance company will not charge financing fees. However, we will pay $2 per month for a service fee. So we're not paying any interest on financing the insurance cost. Property coverage is valued at $1,666 per building, which equates to $20,000 per unit of coverage over the 2024 policy. This resulting increase is from PFAT evaluation. Those people came out to assess us, conducted in October. Motions passed, 2:32 p.m. Elaine motioned to pay $20,135.48 to TCS Insurance Agency as a down payment on the premiums for our new 2025 insurance policy. Catherine seconded the motion. In favor, Stephanie, Elaine, Catherine, opposed, none, motion passed. 2:34 p.m. Stephanie motion to adjourn the meeting. Catherine seconded the motion. All in favor, Elaine, Catherine, Stephanie. Meeting adjourned. Next board meeting is today. Respectfully submitted December 8th by Elaine, Secretary, in coordination with Stephanie, President. Oh, and make a motion to accept approve the minutes from the last meeting.
Second that motion. Second. I wrote it.
Oh, yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Minutes are accepted.
Minutes are approved.
Okay. Catherine, would you like to give the balances for us for the treasurer's report?
Cash operating fund, $75,224.
Did you say, you need to say it
Can't
louder.
hear you.
Oh, okay, sorry. It's on, it's on.
Yeah.
Is it on?
There you go.
Yeah, cash, I got vision problems. The cash operating fund, $75,224.18. Cash reserves, CIT reserves, $69,539.39. The Pacific Western CD mature that we have there, $50,252.68. The total cash reserves there, $118,791.98.
Did everybody hear the amounts? You okay? All right, so the first thing we will address is the absence of Robert. The first thing can you hear me? The first thing we will address is the absence of Robert from EMT. When the election notices went out and he received the intent to run for the board next month, Teresa Van Copenel, which is Anita's daughter, has intended to run. And Robert said, due to the extensive year of litigation, threats, has been too much for him to handle, and he quits. So EMT has quit effective now and will be officially finished by February 28th. We hired Wendy from Elite Management, and I think the proper name is, Elite Property and Management Incorporated. And she is now coming out to sign the new contract tomorrow, so we need to make a motion. Okay, so we motion to accept EMT withdrawal of contract. Wait a minute, we gotta finish it.
Okay.
Effective 2/1. And we will engage the services of Wendy at Elite Properties.
Does that mean we have to change our automatic payments?
This is gonna be a big change,
This is gonna be a big.
a big change.
Well, what are we gonna do?
But I think, I think it'll go smoother than when.
And it's going to be a very good, smooth
But this
transition,
woman is on top of it.
on top of everything.
And
So,
yay.
her name
Of course,
is
the
Elite
proof is
Property
always in the pudding,
Management
but she
Services.
did
Okay,
really
well,
well.
well.
you need to second,
Give me a minute.
you need to second the motion.
I second the motion.
Third, oh, I don't need a third. A.
Okay, all in favor?
Or-
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so this is 112, right?
Yeah.
112 motion. All right, we have spent approximately $10,000 in attorney's fees for this past year. Our latest attorney attack, our latest legal attack was in November from Anita Barnes, who is not a resident of our community, excuse me, not a homeowner, I apologize, not a homeowner of the community, has gone to the state complaining that we did not give proper information and time frame of the increase in insurance. Well, we can't give what was not done. So the attorney wrote a letter to the state and said that this is an erroneous falsehood that is being presented to the community, and she is not a registered homeowner and does not have the right to come to us with these particular types of complaints. The state complied, but it required an attorney's letter and intervention. So Robert has said that it has been all
Enough.
year long, and it's enough for him. He can't take this abuse and craziness anymore for frivolous expenses
Accusation.
and accusations.
It's exactly what you started last year, or the year before.
Well-
So it's, I'm sorry to say,
I know, I
You
understand,
deserve it.
and it's over.
but we're paying.
Who deserves what?
Yes, the community has paid heavily for the frivolous things that have gone on.
Who deserves what?
We deserve anything that happens to us.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, we have to move on.
So what we're excited about is that Elite Management Team is very on top of things, and we think that she will be good for the community. However, there will be changes. There will be changes. We have had a few problems with Robert in failure to pay bills. He did fail
Like Christmas
to
time.
pay our water bill for 8 months,
Timely.
resulting in a $1,400 charge, so that was massive. He did fail to pay the trash bill, which caused us a lot of discomfort in the community. And so it has not been easy to, kind of pick up and roll with some of the mistakes that have happened. So we feel that, this is a little bit unexpected because we did have a contract with them that said 60-day transition, and that 60 days would have worked out for our election, but of course it has not. And so they will be withdrawing by the February 1st. So, long story, Wendy has been very gracious and has already started with this election process. Because the community did not respond properly to the certificate for voting, which meant that every household that had more than one person as owner needed to return it so they could register to vote. The homeowners did not know to do this. Luckily, it is not required by law, so we
We're not gonna worry about it.
agreed that we're not going to hold that over the community for voting.
So people can vote.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, you think?
So now what will happen is one person is allowed to vote from,
Agreeing with you.
one person is allowed to vote per home.
Right, that's the way it's always been.
And that's the way it's always been.
That's the way it's
The
always
community has never given voting certificates in the past. Century never required it from,
It kinda got very complicated with Robert, so anyway,
and it became too complicated because the homeowners didn't respond. He told me the only person that responded was, Melody. So that
That's
meant
not
no one
true.
else who responded was I apologize, excuse me, you're right. You're right, Teresa, I didn't see you there, I didn't recognize you. Teresa did respond, yes.
oh, yeah, it's right.
So there were 2 people that responded, which meant the rest of the homes did not respond by the 28th, the deadline. So therefore, we think that that would be an unfair election to dictate that type of, procedure. And it is not in the bylaws, it is not in our bylaws, it's not in our articles of incorporation. So because it's not listed there, we therefore are not required by law to have a voting certificate. So we will just accept one signature per home for the vote. And at this moment, because Robert will not be handling the election, and Wendy will be, and she's in the process of taking all of this over because this happened over the weekend, we believe that all the documents, the intent letters, everything should be mailed to you within the time frame of the month of February. And right now, if everything goes according to plan, we will have the election on March 4th. But it is going to be tight, the schedule is tight. So it will have to determine whether or not everything is out, whether or not Extreme Management has given it to Wendy, and whether Wendy has been able to get it produced, get it done, and sent out to you within the 2-week time frame. So it's tight. We're hoping it will work out.
But if we have to push the meeting back a week.
And we will give plenty of notice as to whether or not this may have to be pushed back a week. But we're hoping to follow forth on the 4th.
But we'll be done in March no matter what.
Yes. So, the people that are running are, Teresa, which is Anita's daughter, who lives in Carrollwood. Fred Meyer is running. He, of course, spends 6 months out of the year up north in his other home. And then our,
Who's Fred Myers? Is he here today?
no.
He's
no.
sick, he texted me, he's out with his stomach flu.
Chris, he lives across from us, he's a tall guy.
Oh, okay.
He, Fred Myers was the one who, he and Anita passed around the,
No roof
petition to not put up roofs. And so they were not in favor.
Tall gentleman. He's
Of-
tall.
I think I know who he is.
Yeah, the one who did not want
His mom
them.
just he was with his mom.
Yeah, and his mom passed away.
Which-
And his mom did pass away
Which
recently,
unit is
yes.
I'm not sure which unit he's in.
He is in 11241, Unit 4.
But he's on the
Is it
other
3?
side, you know.
I apologize, Unit 3. 11241, Unit 3.
Is Teresa's daughter here?
She's
I'm
right
here.
there.
Yes, you can.
Anita's daughter.
Anita's daughter, and her name's
I mean,
Teresa.
every-
Your
Right.
name's Teresa. You should say hi, Teresa, so that people know who you are.
Hello.
Hi. I think everybody looks familiar, so I think everyone knows who I am.
Yes, and then the other person that's running is Evelyn Dodd. She is the older
I
woman.
know Evelyn, I played bridge with her.
Okay, she's the, yes. Yes, so she is, she put in her intent, late Friday night, so we just found out about it today.
And
All
then
right.
You guys, right?
And then, I'm sorry,
And
yes,
the
and then
three
the
of us.
3 of us would like to run, yes.
Or
So,
were willing,
okay,
sort of like Robert was willing.
so now we have an explanation of the, changeover and the motion.
Okay.
So you put the
I thought we did it already.
Okay. The next issue that is on the agenda for today is the insurance and the costs. As you know, the insurance came in at $71,000. The, thank you. Yes, you know, that was a lot of hard work,
Down.
a lot of hard work.
A lot.
We,
So you have more coverage, less pay,
For half-
because
almost half
we did
the
the
cost.
roofs. And that's what the insurance
Yeah.
company said, because you did the roofs.
Yep.
We're very pleased with that, and they were bidding for the business.
And that's annually, so that's a big dividend.
That's a big
we had
difference.
a very, very positive experience with the insurance company this year. We had someone come after us and, really,
A
really,
couple people.
several people came after us. And it was very nice to be able to get so much interest, and it was because we put the roofs up. And so the coverage, which was nice, because we went ahead and we had the evaluation done a year early. It's done every 3 years, but we chose to do it this year because we have new roofs. So why not do a new evaluation for 3 years? It makes sense, right, economically? So we spent the money, we did it. The evaluations came in at $166,000 per unit, which is $20,000 more, $23,000 more than last year's policy. Last year's policy at $105,000 only gave you $143,000 coverage. This year's policy gives each home $166,000 coverage. So this is a very good thing for us. The total is $71,920 for the umbrella policy. We have 5 other policies that go with it. They all have the typical coverage of that, $1 million for the board, that kind of thing. They're smaller. We pay cash for all of those, small policies. When we renewed on December 15th, we paid cash for those.
So we didn't have to finance them.
And we did not have to finance that. There is no charge for financing, as we said before. So we had to finance $71,920. We did pay a deposit of $20,000, $20,000 some odd dollars. And so therefore, our payments each month, I am excited to tell you, are just under $6,000. Just under $6,000. Last year, we paid $9,800 for our insurance policy.
But it was because they didn't have roofs and it was.
Absolutely.
Right.
It had, was not our control, totally understood, not our control.
But we have new roofs now, and I don't want you to forget this. NASAP is what we used to have, the insurance thing. They came in $20,000 higher than what they were charging last year.
And that is an issue too. Now, a lot of people are not familiar with how the insurance works. So we would like to educate everybody to the best of our knowledge, okay? So this is not written in stone, this is how I understand it, all right? What it is that when you hire an agent, that agent will research all of the different companies and look for the best price. Those prices are not given to us, where they're not told to us at all, and we did not know how much money we would be paying on the insurance policy till the night before. We found out Sunday night that there would be a meeting on Tuesday. We found out how much the money would be, and that is the reason why it was a little late in terms of being posted, because we didn't know if we had a policy on Tuesday or not. The insurance company, so please know this going forward, whoever's on the board for next year, you do not get your rate until a week before it's due. So if it's due November 15th, you get it a couple of days ahead of time. And that's what happened to us. So the letter that was sent from Anita Barnes in complaint that we did not tell you in advance of all the different amounts that we were offered is because we weren't offered any amounts. We were told nothing. No one
Well, we
gives
didn't
an
withhold
offer.
anything.
We
It's
did
just
not
how it
withhold anything from this community. We presented exactly what we had when it was given to us. And I'm glad we hired Chaz because he's young, sharp, and hungry. And that's what we needed. We needed someone to find us a good policy. And he found us a good policy. Now,
Has
Good.
anyone,
yes,
has anyone, gotten an individual condo policy?
that's my next thing.
Okay.
All right.
I'll tell you about
So
that.
now we have some really bad news about insurance for our homes, people.
Not really, but.
And the bad news is this. A year ago, I had Universal Insurance. Universal Insurance gave me a policy at $65,000 for the building, dwelling, and $40,000 for coverage, contents. Coverage of contents is what I was trying to say. Okay, so when I called Damien from this new insurance company, okay, he handles individuals, right? And I said, I need to renew, let me know what's happening. He comes back with a policy, $101,000 coverage for the dwelling, and $20,000 for the contents. So I go back to him, I said, why am I doing that? I said, we have coverage from our insurance policy. And he said, let me educate you. Fine. He educated me and it was a shock. The shock was this. He said, take your condo, turn it upside down and shake it. What falls out? My furniture, right? TV, etc. He said, that's the only thing that you have covered for your contents, right? He said, everything else you have to pay for. The community does not do it. Meaning that when the community rebuilds your condo, they do three things. They put up the structure, they put up bare walls, bare ceiling, that's it. There's no electricity, there's no plumbing, there's no cabinets, there's nothing, nothing. All of that we have to pay for.
No.
As a homeowner. So he told me the going rate right now, based on what happened down in Newport Richie and the flooding condos down there, he said you need a minimum of $100,000 dwelling coverage in order to get your unit up and running. Now, we looked up the law for occupancy. In order to have occupancy, you have to have plumbing and electric. So all the people in the community who do not have homeowners insurance, which is more than 50%, have to pay out of their pocket for the plumbing and the electricity in order to occupy the bare unit, which is a cement floor and sheetrock on the walls and ceiling.
It's called a certificate of occupancy.
Yeah.
And you have to do certain things, generally similar from county to county, state to state, they want to make sure you have basic minimum living, ability, hygiene, water, whatever, basic electricity, that kind of stuff, that they require, and that is it. And, most of us probably already know that if we own individual homes, that if the inside burns, we had to pay, so I don't really.
So the issue that we're following here is those of us, or not, I shouldn't say us, but those resident, the homeowners who only have 50,000 or 60,000 interior coverage are not going to redo your home.
So you should probably think about that.
So you may want to really consider, and this board would like to consider, passing a rule that every homeowner have insurance.
No, I don't know if we can do that.
We can do that because Fairway Village has done that. Every unit up in Fairway Village has the rules that they have to have insurance. Now, we can look into that, but my issue is, if you have a row with 6 buildings and 4 of you do not have homeowners insurance,
But now, with my mortgage, I have to have homeowners.
So, yeah.
Right.
you
And
do,
that's included, so, and I have it, so therefore I'm not worried about it.
So your unit is good,
Yeah.
and you need to just check on the amounts. Because in the past, Universal was giving, in this community, Universal was giving 65,000 for interior. 65,000 is not going to replace everything unless the economy takes a nice, lower dive and we can afford stuff again. But right now, with the inflation prices.
Yeah, it's for everybody, we just wanted to know.
So we just wanted people to know, and the reason why this is coming up is somebody's ceiling collapsed. Okay? And she came to us and said, I don't have insurance, I can't replace the ceiling. And I said, you can't have a bare, no ceiling. So it became an issue for us, what is best for our community.
What's-
So these are issues that are big.
Yeah, what was the cost of that policy?
My policy, luckily, was only $800.
Oh, okay.
$800 for 101,000.
Once it's guy's name, we'll give it to anybody who wants it, but, he did good, or you can talk to Universal and see what they come up with.
What was the ceiling cost?
It was very nice there. The ceiling costs, they're asking.
Can you share that, the ceiling cost for us to replace the ceiling?
Off the top of my head, I don't exactly remember precisely the penny that we spent on that,
It's under 1,000.
but it was under $1,000 what we did.
We had a concern
We had a concern that a bare,
that
open,
there was a lot of pounding on the roof during that, roof replacement time. And,
We think
we
it
didn't
loosened it.
really, no one came in and actually took responsibility. And the best we could think, we didn't really wanna screw anybody. So what we did, in case that pounding loosened those drywalls, or it somehow, we just replaced the sheetrock back. It has not been finished or taped, but we do try to be kind. If we don't, if we think there's a possibility that somehow the situation causes us to be.
Well, that was a good call, I think.
for most of the part, yes. Each homeowner is responsible for any interior in the home, yes. And if your ceiling falls in, and it is, of course, homeowner neglect such as the air conditioning panhandle leaks, and that causes it to fall in, that is your responsibility. But we could not find a specific
There was no neglect.
item that we could say was neglectful, so the board did put up
Back
bare
and make it safe
sheetrock
and cleaned
only,
it up.
bare sheetrock,
Safe.
Well, good.
because we felt that
That
it
was
needed to
it.
be done.
And what was the cost of that, you said?
I don't remember the exact cost of it,
Oh.
we had gotten some,
We didn't.
we
get
had
the
a
figure
contractor come out and offer us, $1,500, but then he didn't show up. So $1,500 to replace it, and he didn't show up, so we can't get any contractors out. We've
yet.
had,
The hurricanes, right?
because everybody's busy, so it's been very challenging for us to get some things done in terms of contractors,
Right now,
but we have been doing the repairs.
But we're muddling through.
We have good news, okay, so that's it for insurance. Any other questions on insurance? So you all understand that the insurance policy is coming in at $3,000 a month less. We did not put any more down on it than expected, the 20,000, and that it's the lower cost.
And that's wonderful, and thank you.
Thank you, we worked so hard,
It was good.
we worked so hard at trying to save money for this community.
You said it's 5,000 a month? you're paying?
Yes, no, it's just under 6,000.
Oh,
It's 3,000 some less. I asked Robert to give me the exact
Figures, but, yeah. we got
figures,
that. There
but
you go.
he handed them
But we do know.
to us right this minute, so I can't really,
This morning.
he handed them to us just.
I do,
I'm sorry to hear that, I like Robert.
Yeah, you didn't like that.
And once we got over the transition and all
Oh, yeah.
the mess that you had, because you changed in the middle of the year, at the end of the year, the time before, and
We understand.
created a mess, therefore, but then he became a good guy. I thought he was a good guy.
So did you want to continue with Century?
No, this is not.
I'm sure it's very cool.
Let's go on.
No,
Let's
have
go on.
fun. All right,
I,
thank you.
I did have a quick question. So you said that inspections were done on the roofs. Was that a 5-point inspection? What type of
Call them, they'll tell
inspection?
you. Do you know
Well,
the name of
the
company?
inspection that was done, okay, was done on the entire community.
Okay,
And the roof was not inspected for FPAT does not inspect the roofs. It only inspects the integrity of the buildings.
okay, so there was no roof
No, the state-
inspection
The
done?
state inspected, in fact, we just got the last notice that all the homes now have been inspected by the state and passed inspection, yes. Because they are new roofs and they have been done, yes.
Okay, because I know when I submitted the information to my agent, they didn't offer any discounts because my prior 5-point inspection noted that the roof was in good order.
Well, I don't know what that is, but all I can tell you is that the
It's-
wind
it's a
mitigation
hurricane.
reports went through.
It's a wind
Yeah,
met
but
hurricane.
everything
And they are all
legally
current,
required,
they're all
everything
brand
is
new,
done.
they're all
I got
brand
a
new.
discount from the new wind, I got a discount from the new wind mitigation report.
Oh, yeah, I got a big, to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
$800, I got a huge discount, and the
Yeah.
community got a
Yeah,
huge
I
discount.
had already had a discount because the building on our, I had paid for a private inspector to come out. I did a 4-point and a wind mit, so we had already had, because the roof that was on that building was fine. That's why I was asking if there's an updated report, I need to provide that.
Well, there is an updated report.
Yeah, there is.
Yes.
On that portal,
And if,
Right.
yes,
That-
on the
Yeah.
portal, it's there, you don't
Okay.
even need to request it, you just need to
Then
go into
I've
the
already
portal.
provided that and there's no additional discounts, so, okay, thank you.
Right, so we're good.
Okay, so that takes care of that, and the insurance payment is under $6,000.
Yeah,
And I
it's
apologize, it was
71,000.
5,000 some odd dollars, I'm really sorry, I don't have the exact amount.
No, I figured it's good.
Yes, but we're saving 3,000 a month, so that's really good, because we pay the payment for 10 months. It goes from January to October.
See, it gave us extra money to pay for our legal fees.
Yeah, to pay for our legal fees.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we've also had homeowners, repairs. There have been 2 doors that were destroyed. Now, the bylaws say that the carport doors, your closet carport doors and your carport buildings, you know, all that storage and everything, according to the bylaws, that is the homeowner's responsibility. The board has decided that that's not gonna fly.
We don't think that's appropriate.
We don't think that's appropriate, because most homeowners are not doing the repairs, and they're falling down, and et cetera, et cetera. So the board has taken to replacing the doors with outside doors. I have just found out that all of the doors up right now are indoor doors, so that's why they're falling apart. So we spent the extra money, which was close to $300 a door, and we had our maintenance man put them up, and so he's put up 2 so far. At the cost of what it is, what?
I use super glue on mine.
Yes. At some point in time, all doors will be replaced as they are falling apart.
That's needed.
Yeah, so we got the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry to bring this up, but I have sent 2 requests to Extreme.
Did you?
We have a hole between inside our storage, you know how that board is nothing? Between my unit and my neighbor's
Oh,
unit.
wow.
And as I said, the bylaws say that that is the homeowner's responsibility, so Extreme would not repair it. I was not aware of it until right now.
Okay, so my question is, do you want us to repair
No,
it? or do
we
you
already
want
said
to
we're
repair
doing it bit by bit, and we're overriding that now that we understand the situation clearly, so that we can offer you better doors instead of the cheap hollow floor doors that are up there.
I
This is
don't
the
talk
wall.
about the door, I'm talking about a
sensory.
wall.
Yeah,
I
well, the
just
wall
wanted-
is part of what we're trying to say, that
Okay, so you guys will do that.
we're trying to look forward to.
Otherwise, we'll do it. Just let me know how it works.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is where we're at right now. Because Robert has dropped us like a pancake, okay? We are now back to where we were in terms of waiting for transitional monies.
We have to
Okay,
reorganize.
so things will be a month behind, okay? Because when we transitioned from Century to EMT, Century waited until the 23rd of January before giving us our funds. So we could not pay for our bills or anything throughout the month of December, and January.
Don't worry about
So
it.
now, right now, it will depend on how efficient EMT is in giving the new company the money to pay
Yeah,
to
we're
have the
worried
repairs
a little
done.
bit about people dragging their
So
feet.
at this point in time, repairs are slightly on hold until we have finances and we know who's gonna pay the bills.
Okay, thank you, that's all
Yes.
I need,
I
thank you.
have a question on, the loan that we got.
My name, the loan is in my
So it
name,
was not in the,
it's in my name.
okay.
It's in my name as president, the loan is in Lake Village I community, okay? I am the signer on the loan. So, when we transition to the new company, I will inform the bank, I will fill out the notice, the bank will send me a notice that I fill them out what's going on. Now, providing I'm president next year, the loan will stay in my control, well, I will be the head person of it. If you change presidents or something, then that person must understand that they must take on the responsibility of that loan. So you need to make sure that as we vote for next board, that they are willing to take on the responsibility for this loan, which is paid on the worst day of the month, which is the last day of the month, which is before we get our money.
And it is what it
Because
is.
our money doesn't come in until the 5th of the month, and this is paid on the 29th. And this is a $5,000 loan. So it is a bit of a headache. It's an automatic withdrawal from the account.
You have escrow. I mean, it's,
You're not allowed to use escrow to pay bills. No, I'm sorry, you're not.
Yeah, I know, we're
That is a
fully
law.
funded community, we're not underfunded anymore, no more stealing from Peter to pay
We're no
Paul.
more, we're not underfunded.
2025.
We are not underfunded, and you're not allowed to use escrow money for anything other than designated, and there's nothing on there designated to spend a capital expense loan. So at this moment in time, I'm sweating it, okay, because I'm sweating that Robert will do what he needs to do and pay these bills for us on time. Yes, that is a concern
and
that
that
I
is
have.
the $85. That's the $85.
Yeah.
That is the
That
5,000,
is- yes.
yes, yes, so the money comes in, pretty much, which is another interesting thing. All right, so as I tell you about the transitional monies going forward, okay, we are trying to figure out how the new company wants to receive money from us. Robert only allowed you to use his portal to make your auto payment, or you could take a check up to him in person. Okay, he did not want anything past the 5th of the
Well,
month.
you could mail it though, too.
As long as it got there by the 5th, or
Yeah.
you get late. The long story is we will have to talk with her tomorrow to find out the logistics. We're not sure how we're gonna set this up. We don't know if it's going to be from your bank to her, like people used to do, if we're gonna do coupon books. I don't know. We don't know what's best for the community, because no one, of course, has ever told us what they would like to have done.
Well, I think the older people want coupons. I mean, what do you guys think?
Any input from any of you as to what you
I
think?
like the automatic, I mean, I just.
Oh,
have
yeah,
my
we're gonna do
automatic
the auto,
set.
that's for sure,
We get bill pay.
but do we?
You do what?
We have what we call bill pay from Bank of America.
So you use Bank of America direct deposit, okay.
And I
And
just
so,
write a check, I don't.
and the reason, okay, so the reason why I'm asking this is because there's a charge if we send out payment books. I don't wanna pay the money. I'm sorry, I'm cheap. I don't wanna pay for payment books. I want people to make payments two ways. Bank, via bank, bill pay, or through her portal, the way we did auto pay with EMT. I think those two options work the best.
Yeah, I'll use
Oh,
the portal.
there's a hand over there.
Yes, yes?
So, it's gonna be a different, obviously, it's gonna be a different, if you're doing a bill pay, it's gonna be a different address you're gonna be sending it
Yeah,
to.
and we'll have.
It'll be a different bank. It will be a different bank, yes.
Okay, when would that come?
When we get it.
She will be sending out a letter,
She's gonna.
and the letter will come to you prior to March 1st. But you all have to understand, this is real fast.
Yeah,
Okay, so it's really important that the community help us by reading the mail and understanding what needs to be done, because this is going to be very fast.
So if we send it to Extreme Management,
No,
Yes.
no
One
more.
February
No.
bill?
February first, you send it to Extreme
Yes.
Management, yes,
We do, okay.
we do. And then you will get a letter sometime in the month of February as to the new bank and the new address and all that. And so we're just trying to, like I said, we're trying to look at how much it's gonna cost us, what are the logistics, how fast this can happen, because we have a lot of payments due and a lot of coverage.
Is it not, I mean, our payments that are going now, that are automatic, like, those payments will go to the new place?
No, they will not.
We have to change all that again.
Yes, because we were no longer going to be with First Citizens Bank. First Citizens Bank is what is used by EMT. And so your payments were sent directly to First Citizens Bank through the portal of EMT. That will not happen anymore.
Well,
And I don't know the bank, we do not know the bank that Elite Management uses until tomorrow when she comes out and she sits down with the contract and all the fees and everything, and we figure it out.
Who's the loan through? Is that through Citizens?
First Citizens
Yeah.
Bank. And like I said, the loan is not through Robert, it is through us and through me.
But
And
they'll still, Citizens Bank will still deal with our loan.
I don't know.
I would think so.
I would say yes.
Oh,
I
yeah.
would say
I was
absolutely
begging
yes.
for a long time.
However, they told me when we were getting the loan that we needed to open an account with them. So it might be, because they do an automatic withdrawal, so it might be that they are going to insist that we open an account with them and that money is deposited into that account directly. Because there's no making a payment, there's no check or invoice. It's an automatic withdrawal every month on the 29th of the month.
So the money that we're sending in now does go to First Citizen.
Yes.
Directly to First Citizens, yes.
So it probably will continue to go to First
Yeah,
Citizen.
but.
Only if we open an account with them and the new management company is willing to manage it. You have to, somebody has to manage the account. Somebody has to manage that account, right? Because there are people here that do not make the $85 payment. We have 9 people in arrears that are not making payments. So that has cost us some issues. And so we have to cover the rest of the money.
Well, can you not take over that account from,
I cannot answer your questions, Becky,
Okay.
because I don't know.
all right, but
I
I
would
think
love
you
to.
should be able to take that account over.
It makes-
I think you should.
It makes
if it's
perfect
our bank.
sense,
If it's our loan.
And it makes perfect sense, but I don't want it recorded that I'm telling you yes, when actually I don't know,
Yeah, we don't know yet.
okay?
Are
So,
we gonna do anything about the 9 people in arrears?
Is there anything we
Oh,
can
there's
do?
a process in place.
Robert has not done anything about it, no. There is somebody that's 8 months in arrears and should have already gone into,
Tend to foreclose.
foreclosure, should have already gone into foreclosure.
And then.
And Robert has not done it. So that is an issue. We are $7,100 in the hole from people who have not made their payments.
Yeah.
So this is an issue.
a problem.
This is a big problem.
You
This
think?
is a big problem. But I don't know, I don't have the knowledge of how to force people to make their
We're gonna
payments.
get our knowledge, and we're gonna do it the right way, whatever we gotta do.
I mean, we
just
send
follow the
letters,
Process.
we send letters, they have intent to collect. There are 4 people that are already on intent to collect. There's 1 person on intent for foreclosure.
It's called a lien.
Yes. it
And,
is.
it says on the bank account, intent to lien, but it's not happening. And we don't understand why it's not being done. We don't know the reasons.
Well, actually, we will, cause it ain't no big deal going down to the courthouse filing them,
Yeah, we'll
when you
figure
can
it
prove
out.
somebody owes you money, so ain't no big deal really.
So we have to figure out,
Take
we have to
care of it
figure out how to
eventually.
handle this. And this is what we hire Robert to do,
And you-
right?
Yeah.
And
he
so
didn't do it.
if he's not doing it, we have no control.
But I believe Wendy will be
Well,
very,
Yeah.
It's not uncommon for this
No, it's
to
not,
happen.
not.
Now, according to the bank, it's not uncommon to have 5 homeowners in arrears.
yeah.
The
they
bank
it's
said that's the
normal.
normal amount. So the fact that we have 5 for
And
a
then-
large amount is normal. The other four, their amounts are minimal, and they probably don't even know that they owe, cause they're small amounts. So those can be taken care of with a simple call, like, hey, so-and-so, you owe us $25. But the 5 big ones are an issue, and that has been ongoing since we've been on the board.
And that's why but you don't know because it's all in flux. But the sooner we know
Yeah.
where to send that and not send it to the wrong place.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Because we have right now automatic payments.
Well, this happened when we transitioned from Century. For 4 months, your neighbor sent her money to Century. Bonnie or somebody, whatever her name is, the one at the end of your row, your next door neighbor.
And
For
she
4
called.
months, she kept sending the money to Century.
And we kept sending it back.
And we kept calling her and saying, don't send it to Century, but she do it anyway. So, I mean, there are people in the community that do not know how to change the banking. There are people who will not pay attention to the letters. There are people who do not care.
And we will help them.
And we will help them. And we tried to help them all last year, and it
some
worked
people
out.
refused,
And
some
she's
people-
still one that still owes, you know, because she still refuses to do what she needs to do. So we can't force everybody. We can just hope that our neighbors will be more,
Our house is for sale, right?
I don't know. It's the one at the very end, the young woman, Mary Ann's, for sale, but this is this is
I have no idea, I can't remember.
Bonnet or something? I don't know. Anyway, she's a neighbor of yours. The elderly lady that
It's
has
kind of, it's.
really bad dementia.
Yeah.
Yes, and so we've tried to work with her, I swear, we have tried and tried and tried. It is what it is. So anyway, now everybody knows where we are financially, we will get you that information ASAP. We are scrambling as much as anybody else. We thought it was a 60-day transition,
And they chose the 30.
and he chose 30 this morning. It was 60 days last week, now it's 30.
And you'll give us contact information
As
for
soon
like,
as we get it,
cut off the repairs and,
Well, right now, you're still calling me, everybody in this community calls me for repairs. I mean, 6 o'clock in the morning, I get phone calls, they can't turn on their water. I get 5 o'clock in the morning calls that their ceiling fell in.
Well, I don't know who's doing it, but like, like if it ain't an emergency, give her a break, let her at least sleep through the night.
I mean, everybody calls me no matter what for for every little
do
thing,
we
so.
have a
I've been
broken,
sending everything
Like
through the
maybe
portal.
9 o'clock or something if it ain't.
Well, you know
an
how to use the
emergency.
portal, 90% of the community does
Or
not.
whatever.
But,
But nothing's.
But you can also notify this new company through a portal also.
Yeah, she has a portal, she has a website, a portal, all this will be, it's the same type of thing.
is there a broken sewer pipe? Did you-
Okay, that's wonderful news. I was hoping Chuck and Beverly would be here so I could educate them as to what's going on. I have been getting bombarded, okay, with complaints of noise in the community, all right? The noise is that the celluloid, which I do not know what that is, and the pipes have all burst for the irrigation system behind Melody's house.
Okay.
Okay, that has flooded, and it has caused a tremendous amount of dirt to go through the lines. So the noise that you hear, boom, 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 is the water, the dirt going through the pipes. It has destroyed the irrigation system on your side of, our side of this community.
I've never heard one sound.
Well, I'm so glad, because your neighbors did, and they let me know.
Well,
I have had many, many complaints. So we did get Faustino out there a month ago. He did have to tear up the yards to find the problem. He has found the problem. Then, because it's a 1982 system, find the parts. Oh, that's good. Try to find the parts for a 1982 Ford.
Well, and he upgraded some of the valves that are on those pipes that control how the water flows. And they had ones, I thought it was like from 1950. I don't know, that were that old.
Is
but-
he doing the work between 6 or 8 in the morning?
He is doing the work when he can get out here and
Oh,
do
okay,
it.
because it interrupts my toilet flow in my rear toilet. I think the front one's still working at that time. But the tank.
The
holds
sprinklers have not been going off for almost a month.
Yeah, this has been happening for about a week and a half.
He hasn't been working on
I
it.
have to fill the sink, a pitcher from the sink, and pour it in my rear toilet to get that to flush. Because it shuts the water flow to the tank.
Yes.
Wow.
That's awful.
That is not the irrigation. How come you didn't call me?
I don't have your number. Yeah. I'll get it now.
All right.
Well, because that's not the irrigation system.
That's
That's
we
not,
get-
that's something else, and that
Do you
sounds
think
something
that could be
serious.
roots?
Will we get in trouble
No.
because that hole's been sitting there for a month? I mean, if.
What are we gonna get in trouble for?
I don't know, if Pasco came by or something. I mean, it's been sitting a long
Yeah, call
time.
them.
You
Maybe
can't
don't try
fix,
this
you
week,
can't
call
fix
a
what you
lawyer
can't
again.
have. Now, granted, maybe it needed to have flags around it or
Yes,
something.
that, I'm just saying, you don't know.
Yeah, yeah,
But
that
that
could
would
be.
be is another fine.
Well, I will contact him and ask him if he can put flags around it. We do have a neighborhood of elderly, so,
You
yeah.
can always turn this in.
But the thing is that the parts have been ordered and they're coming out.
Don't you
Soon.
wanna cover the hole up and have to
Soon.
dig it up
I think
again?
it's just affecting water pressure on that side,
I don't know.
and that's why the water's not flowing.
I will talk to him today, I'll call him today, I didn't know anything about this, I knew that he ordered the parts, I knew that they were due to come out maybe this week, you know how these things are, so,
Well, I hate to bring this up, but you brought up the toilets. My back bathroom is a brand new toilet, it's like 2.5 years old, same thing, I have to flush it 3 times.
Maybe they're roots, you know, you might have to call a water rooter, I used to have to do that at a house I had, and that would be your pipe, maybe. So,
Yeah,
maybe you should call a
that, they
rooter.
did the clean out twice already.
and I ran the camera, I had
Yeah,
them
I
run,
know.
Woody
What did
Tucker
they
ran
say?
the camera through the pipes in front of your area, it is not the, it's
That's
not the,
not-
it's not the community pipe. So if anything is going on in your area, it would be a pipe underneath your house, maybe?
Probably, possibly.
Well,
I don't
the
know.
only thing that I can tell you is that anytime you get anything done, okay, if the plumber, Woody Tucker, you use our plumber, if he says it's condominium association
Right.
responsibility, you know we pay for it. But it could be
Absolutely.
homeowner responsibility,
Yeah.
so,
Right.
you know, we can't pay for what's not ours
If
to
it's
pay.
below the ground and it's a root problem, then it's community association responsibility. If it's above the ground and it's a toilet problem, then it's our responsibility.
Right.
I understood that. You guys fixed mine finally. After I spent $500 myself,
Oh,
yeah, but then you came out and spent like another 1,700. This was like 2
Was-
years ago.
That was years ago, that wasn't us.
It's just
wasn't
like 2
this
years
board.
ago, yeah.
Okay,
It
fine.
was a major
All
root
right.
structure problem.
I'm all in favor of anything
That we're
that we need to
responsible
fix,
for.
I wanna fix, and we
Yeah.
have fixed,
And you
we,
know
that.
we have repaired everything that
A lot.
people have been mentioning.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Pretty much everything that you
Absolutely.
need fixed, we've fixed, and so that's really critical to us, we believe in safety, and we believe in doing our job. But we
Right.
also have to know that there's issues, and sometimes it doesn't always get told to us if it goes on the portal with Robert, I do apologize for that.
Oh, yeah, Robert.
I didn't-
He doesn't tend to
calls
tell
to
us.
her in a reasonable manner when she has a problem and stuff, you know?
But I'm more than happy to address anything that you bring to me, and I will make sure that we get things done. So please understand
And
that.
sometimes we have to, wait till the next month, type of thing.
She takes on the biggest burden with
It's
all
like
these
your own
calls
checking
to
account.
her.
I hate to ask one more question,
You
and
know
then I
that.
won't ask anymore. Who's going to empty the garbage in the pool and stuff? Because that's been sitting for over a month.
Well, I guess.
Well, the problem with that was that it is the pool committee's decision to decide with Dollar Lake 2 and 1, maintenance for the pool. I went to them, I wanted to hire someone to clean the area, the bathrooms, and empty the trash, and I was voted down by Dollar Lake 2. So now, it is up to the committee to get together and find a solution to cleaning the pool bathrooms and emptying the trash. The homeowners can do it if they want to, but they will not be paid for it by us, because
So
it
we
is.
could do a volunteer type.
And if, yes, and Perry was very nice and he was doing it. He was told he was not allowed to spray the chemicals because of the complaints. So that's hurt his feelings and he stopped. Unfortunately, nothing's been done since, and this is not in our hands. This is the pool committee's responsibility to make a recommendation to the boards.
Now that the Dollar Lake 2 has a new president, I believe.
You'll be able to have a
I
meeting.
will be able to talk to
Yeah,
you and get
Then
Joe,
we'll get things
and
more
we'll
cooperative.
see, you know.
And I'm always
I
open
know.
for
We're all-
volunteering.
we're
We are
all-
trying,
we're
we are
all
trying very
such a good community, we try to work together. And unfortunately,
Right.
if there's dissension at all,
Right.
things do get pushed to the back burner, because then something else arises. So we will work on that, and we'll talk about,
I just don't
well,
wanna be.
right.
We
yeah.
had,
I-
we
I
had a
understand.
meeting,
Mhm.
we had a board meeting with them,
Yeah.
and they brought their 5 members on the board, and it was Catherine and I. So that 5 voted no for cleaning service of $100 a month.
And we're the matter about
They're
there.
very like.
And we were
they're
like-
willing, to come forward always with our
We
share.
wanted to hire
They're
someone.
always
We did have that-
resistant
we
to want
did
to
have
pay
that
their share of
set
stuff, that's how my feeling when I'm around them,
So perhaps the pool committee can get together
Yeah,
and
we did
definitely
have
take
it
care
set
of
up that we were gonna do something, after the furniture came, and
Okay.
then we would, and there were people away, and new elections and whatever. So now we'll take it I'll take it upon myself to, see if we can get everybody together.
Well,
So
that
we've
would
been
be
using
wonderful,
that
very
pool
appreciative.
A lot, it is fantastic.
Doesn't the pool look good?
It
The
is
pool looks beautiful, and
tremendous.
it's comfortable. I've had so
Tremendous.
many people come here, realtors from other states that have been looking at us. They want to start selling in this community. I have not committed to working with anybody yet, because I said, well, we have a little bit more to do. We have to get our grounds, our common grounds need to be, a little bit better. And then we can start attracting interest from other states for people to come here to retire, yeah, definitely. And I think by building up the swimming pool was one of the best attractions our community has.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
really
Someone
want to bring
never-
this place
someone came
back
up to me-
as
someone came up
budget
to
wise
me-
as we can, we really
Yeah.
do, all of us, bring it back.
Yeah, that's what we would, our vision, or my vision, but our vision, is to work very much this year. And I sent out, you'll see in my statement, is that I really want the grounds. I wanna pull up our grounds. We have so much erosion, and it is so dangerous in our community, for flooding. Elaine and I, last year, this is the next topic, okay? The next topic is tree trimming, tree removal. To let you know, for those of you that are not aware, the back of my building, I am now 20 inches below ground level. Elaine is also around 18 inches below ground level, which means that which means that the land, the erosion has trickled down and it's building up, the land is building up outside our homes. Both of us last year had to get 30 bags of sand each. Do you know how hard that is for a 70-year-old woman to go over and haul those bags of sand 10 at a time and line them up in front of the house? And they were all soaked badly, and the water was over 2 inches up the wall. So Robert said, hey, I saw the damage. I went, thank you. We can't have this. We cannot have homes flooded because our insurance doesn't cover outdoor flooding. It only covers if a tree goes through the window and then you get flooded from rain. So this is a big issue for us. So our units, so therefore we we had the state, courtesy of Joan, thank you very much,
Courtesy of
Mariano, Jack Mariano,
who's
Oh, Jack Lynch,
send out 2
engineer.
engineers who walked through the
only
back.
courtesy, that's all it was.
It was a
This
courtesy.
This was
Well,
not
let
a
me
county
finish.
thing.
They walked through
Okay.
the common area of 83, 30, and 20, and 83, 10, and 20. They walked through the common area and told us what we needed to do to at least help mitigate the erosion.
Yeah, we're not gonna.
Mitigate the
we're gonna
erosion. We
mitigate.
can't stop the erosion, but we can attempt to mitigate it. And then that will be the next motion I will make, which is it's 205. I motion that we engage the services of Red Line Tree Company to cut down 10 trees trees. What is the term, anybody know the term for trees when you balance the weight, when you make it a weight balance to prevent sale effect? All right, to weight
Probably.
balance to prevention of sale
I
effect.
think trimming 4 trees will be covered.
Yeah.
You have to put down
I
why.
think I would put down,
Okay, it's weight,
Okay, weight,
it's weight balance,
oh, okay, weight balance.
weight balance
You're gonna
for
for
remove
symmetry,
tension.
it's symmetry, I
sale
believe.
effect.
I think it's symmetry.
It's to mitigate sale effect. Let me just say, one second. Sale effect is when the trees have blown up into a balloon type effect and the wind gets caught in the tree
That's how trees get
branches,
pulled up.
and that's what pulls it down and topples it over. So the arborists call that a sale effect. So we are going to mitigate the sale effect by heavily trimming these trees to allow the winds to go through them. Now, they are the 4 trees along High Point Circle that are blocking out the street lights, that are interfering with the power lines, and are in danger of Dollar Lake 2 homes. And that is the biggest issue. Those trees
And some-
fall this way,
and
they
some
wipe
Dollar Lake
out
ones.
Dollar Lake 2. We do not wanna go there with that lawsuit.
So heavy branches will be removed from those trees also.
So it starts at the big oak tree in front of your house, your building,
And
your
goes
all's
down.
building, that big oak tree needs to be trimmed up really high. And then the next 4 trees down the line.
Which
That
if anybody walked there, they would see that the roots have created,
The roots are way up on top of the
they're
ground,
high.
so it's very
Because they
dangerous.
got nowhere else to
Those
go.
trees are dangerous. I would have liked to have had them pulled down, but at the same time, I think it's important that we have trees on the perimeter of the community. We do not want to take down trees that are in front of our homes. Aesthetically, environmentally,
Right.
they are needed.
You need to shade.
However, the engineer said to cut down the 10 trees behind our building for 2 reasons. The trees are preventing soil from maintaining soil. It has turned into sand and a quagmire. The sand is what is coming down and causing the ground level to rise up. That's why I'm at 20 inches down at the bottom of the road. So they will come, they will cut down the 10 trees, they will, grind the roots and level it down. The reason why we are doing this is because the engineer said what we need to do is build a berm, which is a hill, okay, to reestablish the swale that's already there. And the reason why you're doing that is to regrade in front of our homes, to bring the ground level back down to something normal, like, 5 inches or something, bring it back down, and then create this berm, which will then stop the water flowing straight into our condos at the bottom. Now, yes.
We also, there's the back of Melody's house and all of that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
We had that looked into, and then that was gonna be our next.
Now, well, I will get there, 1 second. All right, so this will be done. This is project 1 for the erosion. So what's going to happen is these trees will be cut down, the berm will be created, the swale will be created, we will have it regraded. That's the next step, if we're on the board, we have it regraded, okay, and then we plant sod down the back of the row and soil. It needs to have topsoil planted and sod planted along the back to reestablish the ground, to fill it with the nutrients and the richness, and to stop the erosion that's been going on in that area. Number 2, so that will be done the first week of February, okay? So we pass this motion. Who
I
seconds it?
second the motion.
Catherine seconds,
I'll second.
okay? In favor?
Aye.
Aye. And this work will commence February 4th, the week of February 4th. So we need to tell all the neighbors to move everything, because there'll be big trucks and all
Our
that will
neighbors,
go on.
not the.
I meant our neighbors, tell our neighbors to move everything so nothing gets damaged back
The
there.
car.
Well, you can post something too.
Well, it's just our back
yeah,
row.
yeah.
So it's easy to just take, if you have anything out there, if you have
The only
something on
one
your
you have
back.
to get in touch with is Mo.
Yeah, if you're on your backyard, you know, get rid, just because we don't wanna have that. All right, now, in terms of the erosion, next step. Number one, we as a board would like very much to go through the whole neighborhood and trim the trees and cut the trees down. The ones that are in the back of people's homes, there are invasive trees. We have quite a few, especially 11241. They have a tree that's almost on top of the house, and it's scary. Yes, the ones all back behind you all. Now, when the engineers came out, I showed them the paperwork that whoever you had hired did, and they said absolutely not. In their professional opinion, that was not a good thing to do at all. And the reason why they said that was because of the maintenance issue involved in it. Because what your engineer did or wrote up or whatever was that it was open. It was open area, and so all the debris, the mowing, everything would pile on top of it, and it would stop those boxes from being effective. And they said we would have a huge flood in that entire area if we put that in. That was their opinion. Now, what they said to do, of course, was yes, trim trees or cut trees down, yes, because they're too close to the homes and they are dangerous, yes. But they also wanted us to run a drain along the back of your building, 8310, from one end to the other, a complete drain, and attach all of your downspouts into that drain. Now, that's going to be a lot of money, and it's
Yeah,
going
that's
to be a
right,
big issue.
that was the thing, it was doing downspouts,
Yeah.
which I do think they need downspouts.
Absolutely.
And
Because that's all that, it needs to do, that needs to.
And we
run.
got some prices on that, and it was around $50,000. And of course, the community does not want to do assessments for things like this, so we are budgeting our pennies
We're
and trying
budgeting.
to do a little here, a little
Yeah.
here, a little here. And we're trying to go around the whole neighborhood. So our vision throughout the whatever years we are on is to cut down all the trees in back of
The
the
building.
units. You know, your 6 foot to 10 foot area behind your unit, those trees have got to go. Because they are stopping ground.
What if we wanted to pay for ourselves to take the trees down?
And you may do that, you have to get the permit,
We would have to agree because we cannot just go out helter-skelter, everybody cutting
Right,
down
right, I
trees.
agree.
and we would
have to
be,
go through a process.
but we as a board are in favor of cutting down trees in the back of the homes.
Yes,
Nothing in front,
absolutely.
but in the back of the homes, because it's dangerous, we want safety. And right now, these 100-mile-an-hour storms are bringing these trees into our little windows in the back there, it's just not safe for us.
And it ain't gonna stop.
I know-
And they're not gonna stop, so we have to take measures, and we have to start cutting these trees down,
Yeah.
you know.
Another good thing for aesthetics is all those disgusting black drain things
What is it?
that are just outside the back of the houses. They should be buried.
That's
Oh, yeah,
downspouting.
we know that, we just haven't gotten to it.
That's a down.
So,
We're aware.
$50,000 to bury those all?
No, not.
No, I meant to put all new drain stuff in.
They would put
And then
that,
put bubblers in.
Very expensive.
Okay.
I mean, they gotta bring in the equipment and everything
That is a
to
real problem.
dig, to put the drains in, and in fact, actually, to tell you the truth, my brother had come across all new drain spouts
Oh, yeah.
for this community. He came across a building site, all new drain spouts, he put them behind the swimming pool because there was no place to put them. That night, they were stolen.
Oh, you're kidding.
They were all stolen. We went out, the storm hit the next day. 2 days later when the storm, or a day later when the storm's finished,
Why
for
did you
Helene,
put it in the pool warehouse thing?
it's full. It's full of stuff already.
Did we have
And
to
we're
pay
talking
for
about
that?
drain spouts for this whole unit. I mean, there
No,
must
he
have
found
been
them.
50
he
of them
didn't
there.
buy. He didn't buy, make that clear.
Yeah,
He
no,
didn't-
he didn't
he
No,
buy
he
them.
didn't buy them,
purchase
he
them,
came
no.
across them from a construction site in Tampa, and he brought them up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
to
but-
install in our community. It was wonderful, it was fantastic, and they were stolen.
Yeah, and now we gotta.
So it was given to him, basically.
They were given to him, and he brought
By
them
the
up.
construction guy who didn't want them and didn't need them. He said-
Yeah, we can get
And
everything we
Steve
want.
said,
I
"I'll give you
know,
a
I
Sawyer."
It seems like-
Who in the world
We
knew
can
they
get
were there?
anything we want.
Somebody was watching.
We
Somebody
don't
was
know.
watching.
We can guess, but we don't know.
I mean, who would know that they're behind the back of the pool wall? The pool wall, okay? You couldn't see from the street, so somebody had to watch him put all that back there. Well, actually, I was with him when we did it together. So anyway, that was very sad. But anyway, we are working along, replacing things and doing that. So that is the next step. So this part is the plan one. Plan one is to put the soil down, put the sod down, and regenerate the growth of common area to help build and retard the problems we're having in that area.
Right.
We also have, like I said, Faustino is redoing. It's going to be very costly, all new pipes and things like that in that area behind Melody's house, okay? So that's being worked on. It should be done in the next week or two. Hopefully, I'd like to wish upon a star and say hopefully it's a week.
I think that's what's cutting my water off in the morning.
And it could be, I will
Yeah.
talk to him. I don't know how the irrigation would have anything to do with the plumbing. It's never had an effect on my plumbing or
Well,
anybody
if there's
else's
a water
plumbing.
line and
It's a water line.
part, and it's connected into part of
There
that.
is no water line.
It's not it's a water supply issue. for the
It comes
toilet.
from the well.
Okay.
The water strictly, and the well is behind 8320.
Yeah,
There's some bushes.
it's.
The well is
I'll
there.
tell you what it does.
I'm having Woody Tucker come out to my house
Yeah,
on Friday.
okay,
This is my personal business.
yeah,
I'm having him come out because we do get a lot of sand in our piping.
okay.
And what he's doing is it's costing me $255 that I know of to, clean out the, what do you call it, the tank? I have a waterless tank.
Tank,
Okay,
water.
but what they do is they clean out the pipes
tankless water
within
heater.
your unit. They clean it out so that all of that residue
Mhm.
is, you might have that same thing
I don't
that's
have that
building up.
issue, no,
No.
I have a water supply issue. And then what
Well,
happens
that's
is
what,
the water,
that will
the water shuts
clog
off
it.
about 4 or 5 AM, going just to that toilet, and then it'll come on like sporadically. Sometimes it's between 7, sometimes it's
Mine
between 7
does
and
the
Never
8,
heard
exact
of
same
such a
thing.
thing, but
and it
I'm
fills
not
up.
saying,
You said you have a septic tank?
No,
No.
it's a water supply issue.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
write that down.
Mine,
It's okay.
mine is doing the exact same thing. I'll be asleep at night and you
It's a
can hear
buildup
the
of
toilet
toilet.
And you
going
can hear
in.
the water
water
turn back
comes.
on, and it'll go.
Yeah.
I actually,
And fill up the
I'm
toilet.
deaf, and I actually hear water, and I'm like,
Yeah,
what is
it's
going
from
on?
the toilet.
Well, it's because of the sprinkler system in that area.
Yeah, so
It
we're
has
shutting the
all this
water off to
pile.
work on the sprinkler system.
So when it burst, when the celluloid and the pipes burst, they literally burst in the air.
Yeah.
Okay, they came up out of the ground and they burst. That's how they were found, all right?
Yeah,
So
that-
when that happened, when they were still going, the water pressure was pumping the dirt through the lines.
That's a
So all
separate
that dirt
noise
has
though.
come through
That's
everybody's
outside.
sprinkler
Dum, 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 dum,
system in the
ain't that-
community.
I
What'd you
heard
say?
that sound. It's a separate sound. The irrigation getting blocked, the thump, 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 I heard that. But I was
And that's
driving
what-
Bob crazy next to me. He thought I was making the noise. He finally comes out at 11 o'clock at night and he goes, "It's the pipe." Yeah, why was he making the noise? Anyway.
I don't keep.
But-
I got the
But
calls.
the other
I got
issue,
the calls.
the other issue is just the toilet not filling up, and then the water will turn on sporadically
Yes.
and fill up the tank, and Emily's getting the same thing, so it's probably shutting the water
It's
supply to work
weird.
on the line, so it doesn't flood the
He
line or
can't,
something,
he can,
you know what I mean?
but you don't understand, your toilets are not the well. The
Mhm.
toilets are community water sewage. See what I'm saying?
But
The
we-
well is only for
irrigation.
the irrigation. So if
Okay.
he turns on, off the well, it has no effect on you.
I know,
So-
cause it doesn't affect the sink, it only affects the water supply going to
But
the
it's,
toilet.
it's
Can we have
something
the county
in your
look at it?
buildings is what I'm trying to say. It has
Yeah.
something
It's
to
to
do
do.
with the pipes
Diagnose it.
underneath your building. It has nothing to do with the
It has
irrigation.
nothing to do with that, no. It's the water.
County has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with our just came out here as a courtesy,
Yeah.
that was it. It was not county induced
This is
or
not, yeah,
anything.
they would
It
not
has
give me a
nothing to
report,
do
they would
with
not
it.
give me a written report,
No, they
nothing.
wouldn't,
It was
they just
verbal.
did it as a courtesy, that was all it was.
Yes,
And,
Yeah.
Excuse me, I have a question about the transition between, EMT and LEAP. Lessons learned from,
Century.
Century and EMT. And we applied what we learned from that. So those type of things with bills being not paid and, you know, we were gonna turn off your cable, we were gonna turn off your Wi-Fi, all that.
I think we're not gonna have that problem.
Remember
Well, the
that.
reason why we're not having any of that problem is because Robert did assure her today that he would pay our bills
Yeah.
for the month of February.
They'll think, yeah, I talked to him
And we're all
today.
caught up, that's it.
Oh, we're always caught up, yeah.
We're always caught up.
We're
I mean,
always,
there will be no outstanding bills after he pays February bills.
no, the only outstanding bills would be those generated throughout the month of February, which are normally paid in March.
Right, so we
So-
should be okay. We're not gonna have the same issue.
peaceful transition.
I would
will.
like to hope
Well,
so.
we're praying.
We told them,
Well, the president of the company emailed Stephanie
the
this
president
morning.
emailed me today, and she sent me a very nice email. I did not know that Robert was not an owner of the company. I thought he presented himself as vice president, and I thought he was part owner of the business. He is not, he's an employee.
Right.
And so
And
the
he's not our
owner
president.
is Sharon, who we met once, you know, and very delightful woman, but we met her once, and the main office is in Claremont.
So Extreme Management doesn't have somebody to replace Bob, is that the issue?
Right.
Correct, they don't.
They don't. There's only two, they only have two businesses out here, they're trying to get their foot in the door in Port Richey area. They manage, Robert manages our community
And one
and
other.
Pine Ridge. Those are the two.
Yeah.
And
And they didn't
so-
have a replacement for him.
And they did not have a replacement for him, so we had no choice.
Then we
Is
have
he
to do
quit?
a budget reconciliation based on some of the things that are coming up that we didn't originally budget for 2025.
We'll find out about that.
And what we're saving with the insurance.
Well, truthfully, we budgeted $2,000 a month for the repairs in the community. And that $3,000 has already been spent for January because we had quite a few repairs. One of them was $1,900 to replace and repair all of the Malibu lights and put in 3 new GFI, is it GFI?
Yeah.
GFI outlets,
Right outside.
electric boxes, and that costs $1,900, but that's good and safe for the community.
It's
Our
to bring up
goal-
the code.
Our goal is to do every unit, so 3 out of the 9 are done right now, but it was $1,900 for those 3.
I thought that you guys were gonna budget more for building maintenance.
Well,
because-
you know, I did mention that to Robert, yes, you're right, but because we did not raise the money, we had to deal with, and we had all the same bills from last year that we have coming up this year. We went with pretty much what we had for a budget last year, thank
That's how
God.
we got in trouble.
We didn't get in trouble for.
Well, financially, because.
We were
what
not.
I-
We
never got in
what I-
trouble, you all.
What I meant is, we would have unexpected building issues that we had
We did
budgeted
have
for.
unexpected building repairs. We had repairs of over $40,000 last year. The budget for repairs, according to the budget that came out from before that, was only 12,000.
Yeah.
So
I
we
guess-
budgeted 24,000, so we went from 24,000 of our budget to an actual 40,000.
Okay, so you, okay.
But we have had, excuse me, I'm sorry, we have carried a balance in our checking account of roughly 60 to 75,000 on a monthly basis. Okay, so we are doing solid in terms of meeting our bills. We just renewed the contract for the termites in 8320. Okay, which was the last building in row 8320. Now, they've had termites many times in that building, so we renewed the $400 contract, so we're covered there. We are still paying to have the rodent boxes maintained. We're still paying for seasonal spraying outside the homes for the ants and the bugs and everything else. Faustino having his license. He's already received several licenses so far, but we'll be finished getting all of them. I don't know how many, I heard something about 4, 5, 6, something like that. So he can do many, many, many types of pest control, and he will be able to do that, we think by March. He's got several now, and more are coming. You know, it's a process from Tallahassee. So that's a good thing, because his prices are half of what the other lawn
Saving a lot of
companies.
money.
We are saving thousands using him. you
And
know.
we can get more done.
And we can get more done,
And that's
because
what really
he's really
happened
dedicated
last
to our
year.
community. He really wants to do
He's
the
the
work,
guy that-
Oh, they're
and he wants to
wonderful.
build it up.
They are good, I can't say.
They really wanna build it up. In fact, Becky, you got new plants, which we didn't even know about. He planted new ones in front of your building. They're called ligustrums. And I looked at him, I said, well, how come we don't have any in ours?
Well, mine were dead.
They go dormant.
But no,
Oh, the new
mine
ones.
were dead.
Yes, your
The
old
old
ones were dead.
Yes, they were completely dead.
Yeah.
And that's what
I
he
just
told
said,
me.
could I have something here?
And he's been very good. He did not charge, he did not charge us for that. He did that for free.
Nowadays, it's really hard to
He
find
did that for
people that are
free. He is a really,
polite
really,
and have a good work ethic like that so
Yeah.
far, like he's shown that. And
He has
his
planted them all for
workers
free.
Are good too.
What?
His workers are very good.
And they trim down the end of your row, so that's nice, and he's gonna do that to more and more of the bushes around. Each week, they're trimming and trimming and trimming and cutting down and really trying to build up the
Really?
community. He knows our vision. Our vision is to build it up and make it beautiful. That's our
Right.
vision. And he's been really hard working with us, you know.
And
And
to
he-
maintain
And
property
we
values.
interviewed some people before we found him that, wow, I
We were
mean,
getting estimates of $5,000
wow.
from
And
from
we're, and
three
we're, we didn't
seasons.
think they were gonna do a good job, let's just say around here, I don't know, okay? But we feel really blessed right now about this.
Yeah,
Yeah, Hostina's a gift.
he's been really good.
We're fortunate.
He's really good. All right, so is there, wait a minute, let me make sure I check the agenda, if there's anything I missed, God forbid.
While you're doing that, I just have a question. You had referenced that the water bill was 8 months late and the
Yes, you
trash
know
was
what
not paid.
happened with the water bill, what happened with the water bill was, okay, Century had it on auto pay, which is perfect, no complaint there. So there were 10 water meters, 10 electric meters. When EMT took over, okay, Century, when EMT took over, they contacted the Pasco Water Utilities, right? And all of those became electric payments, auto pay to, from EMT to, the, water company.
Work.
Now, they came out the first month and read all the meters, right? No problem. But in February, they didn't read the meter in front of our building. And in March, they didn't read the meter in front of our building. And in April, they didn't. And in May, they didn't. And in June, they didn't. And in July, finally, someone knew what they were doing and happened to see 10 meters and read the meter, and we got hit with an $1,800 water bill.
Which probably
Which-
would have been the same over those months, but.
Which would have been $200 a month, which is what we normally pay. We usually pay 200 to 300 a unit, a building.
Yeah.
300 a building, okay. So the problem just simply was, we weren't expecting an $1,800 water bill. So that did cause a bit of contention between Robert and I, okay? I was not happy, and I let him know. So then, when it became Christmas time, in October, Robert and his wife, who is the bookkeeper, went on vacation for the 2 weeks in October. When they came back in November, they saw, the wife is the bookkeeper, she saw the invoice from Republic Trash People, right? She paid it, but the invoice was for November, not October. So when she paid the invoice for November, the October one went unpaid. December comes along, she pays the invoice in December for December, right? I mean, so the November, December invoices were paid. But at Christmas time, when the bill is due, which is the 17th of the month,
They were away.
they were not here, they were on vacation, number one. And number two, Republic still had us down as being a, client through Century. And Century had informed Republic last December of 2023 to not contact the president. little,
See,
Whatever.
if it was set up right, the Republic,
would have contacted me immediately.
and we could have fixed it immediately.
So when I saw that there was no trash after a week, cause I empty my trash once a week, I'm by myself, right, you know? So I go out there and I say, oh my God, trash is not emptied, I call them immediately, and they said, well, you're 60 days past due. And I said, 60 days past due from when? They said October. I'm thinking, okay, can I make the payment right now? I immediately made the $290 payment. Unfortunately, it is Christmas week. And they said, well, we don't know when we can get to you to empty the trash. So what I did was, I had the maintenance man take his trailer and his truck, and he went around to the whole community and took all the trash that was on the ground, and took all the excess trash in the bins, and he took them to the dump for us.
Okay,
And
and
that's what he did for us Christmas Eve.
was all that charged back to EMT, including penalties and any interest for those late payments? We shouldn't
There was no
absorb any of that.
penalties, there was no late payments.
Okay, I just wanna make sure.
Luckily, Republic does not charge late payments, and they do not charge penalties.
Okay.
And they took the payment from me right away, so there was no issue.
Yeah, we
Okay.
used a credit card. I mean,
And
that's-
what about
But you're
the,
absolutely right,
Not-
you're
not
absolutely right,
the maintenance, if you paid for somebody to
The
come with a trailer,
community-
that needs to be charged back
you
to
know, you're
EMT for
absolutely
failure?
right. You're absolutely right. Can
Yeah.
I ask you, since you're so knowledgeable, how do you go about making EMT pay that bill?
You subtract it from whatever they charge for their
They don't
services.
they charge $875 a month, so how would you do that? If you were on the board, how would you make them pay?
Pretty easily, you send a demand letter.
You send what?
A demand letter?
So you want to send a demand letter for $25, you think that's important?
Oh, I thought you said 2,500.
Oh, no.
$25?
Yeah.
Well, Steve, the maintenance man picked up the trash and took a run to the dump with the
Yeah,
trash.
yeah.
Okay.
We paid him for, well, maybe it was 50, maybe it was 2 hours. I
Okay,
can't
that's
remember if it was
negligible
1 or 2
then.
hours,
I thought
whatever.
you said 2,500. Okay.
no.
No,
$50 is
no,
negligible.
I didn't say that.
That's
Are you
all right.
sure?
Yeah, no big deal.
Okay, so anyway, that's why there became a bit of an issue with Robert in terms of, some of these things that had gone on. And, there were other issues as well.
He kind of blew off a lot.
Yeah, she has a lot
He
to
blew
talk
off
about.
what-
Well, that's the past, so let's leave it.
So I'm just explaining why.
Yeah, look how she handled it.
And I really thought it
Right
was
on the
gonna be a
spot.
60-day transition and there would be no inconvenience to the community.
She's
I truly
really,
thought
yeah.
that. They chose to do exactly what we didn't anticipate, so.
Well,
We'll work
we
through
knew
it.
the possibility was there.
We did know that they called.
Sometimes change.
So we will keep the
We'll get
community
through it. and then-
updated on
I
it.
wanna thank Stephanie, cause she's been working so hard all year, really, to do a good job.
And we appreciate that.
Thank you, I appreciate that. I love our community and I have had a vision for many things for the community of things that we could do. You know, and they are big projects and they're not easy and they couldn't have been done before because we never had money before. You know, we were paying astronomical amounts of money for nickel and dime things in
Cleaning
the
up
past.
the task.
Over 10 years of
Neglect.
stuff of, you know, a lot of nickel and dime, and that adds up. You know, and sometimes you don't always.
Well, I think Frank added up Centuries for the last year they were in, and said the fees with them, with the nickel
He
and
did.
dime,
He did?
were incurred up to $75,000.
That's what Fred reported.
Boy.
That's what he said.
And we don't
Now,
have that anymore.
now the difference between EMT and Century, which was very beneficial to us as a community, was that because we hired, because every vendor I interviewed, every vendor I personally walked with, I personally negotiated with, I personally dealt with, and then they helped me in between, okay? EMT could not charge us their 5%. The only time that they could charge us 5% was for the loan, and that's because it did go through them. And he was very honest in charging us only 5% on the roofs. He did not charge 5% on the full loan. And he was legally entitled to do it, he did not. But because we negotiated on the insurance, we did not have to pay a 5% which is what Century took out of it when you guys were doing it. And sometimes you don't always know what some of these companies take out, because when you're signing the invoices, you're not always 100% clear precisely what that is when you have many to do. And a lot of times I've had to return some invoices and say, what is this, what is this, what is this? And that's time consuming, that's true. But anyway,
That's
I
why,
will say,
but that is why you hire a management company.
absolutely.
Because as a president and vice president and whatever, you aren't getting paid to do that.
That's all right, we wanna make things run right for the people, and we
I
control
know,
what they do.
I know,
It's
but
for
then
the benefit
also,
of this community.
pardon me, also, that is what sometimes gets you into
We haven't
long
been in any
problems.
trouble, we have solved
Amen,
everything,
that's
we've been
all
right
I'm
on the
saying.
ball.
How much did you pay with all this stuff because of all of the problems that went
Well,
on?
I will be very proud to say that not one single letter, one single complaint, one single